We welcome you to Salem Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina, as fans of all ages get to see North Carolina FC begin a new rivalry here in USL League One as they take on the MLS affiliate of Inter Miami, Fort Lauderdale, here on ESPN+. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, everybody. I'm Brian Ware, along with former NCFC midfielder Austin Deleuze. And Austin, if you look at what this NCFC team has done at the start of this season, they have not yet won a game, but Coach John Bradford said they're building. And if they need to get a win tonight, they need to play a full 90 minutes to get 3 points.
They're a young team. Consistency is always going to be an issue with a young team, but there have been good spells. They've liked what they've done on both ends of the field, but it's exactly what you said. It's putting it all together for 90 minutes and getting that first win off their backs.
Now, one of the stars for this young team early on this year has been their great attacking winger, Selmir Miscic. He scored both goals for NCFC so far this year.
Selmir's a very dangerous player. Every time he gets the ball, you expect something exciting to happen. He's very good 1v1, and they're going to need him to continue that goal-scoring momentum if they're going to get that first win tonight.
Now, if the boys in blue want to get 3 points, they got to keep their eyes on Fort Lauderdale's George Acosta. He's the creator for this team.
He's a playmaker. He pulls the strings. He's very technical, exciting player, and as you said, familiar to NCFC. He spent some time here, but I'm very excited to watch this kid play tonight. I think he's got a bright, bright future.
Well, North Carolina FC have made some changes in the starting 11, and one of them is in goal, as Damian Loss, who is on loan from Fulham and also played for the USU 17 team, gets the start. We'll have the lineups and the kickoff next.
Hi, I'm Dre Fortune from NCFC, and I'm here at Alpaca to enjoy one of my favorite dishes. The Chop Chop Special is their daily special on Wednesdays. It comes with rice, black beans, their famous rotisserie chicken, and pico de gallo.
Hi, this is DJ Taylor. I'm from North Carolina FC, and I'm here at Alpaca trying my favorite dish. I usually get the half chicken with corn and rice with the sweet yellow sauce. I love the chicken because it's fresh chicken and it's rotisserie grilled.
Come check us out on a Saturday and go to any Alpaca location near you.
At Strategic Systems, we understand that a reliable IT infrastructure doesn't just materialize by itself. We've been helping Triangle businesses of all sizes build and manage secure, reliable technology solutions for over 25 years. Strategic Systems and CEI. Are you transforming your business?
So, how do you like your urgent care? At Wake Med, we have urgent care just about everywhere. Urgent care that specializes in orthopedics and kids. My Care 365, open every day of the year. Even virtual urgent care. Yup, urgent care in your jammies on your tablet. So download the Wake Med All Access app and get urgent care that's caring, convenient, and just the way you like it.
Selling your home often comes at a cost. Many realtors charge commissions of 6%, which seriously cuts into your profits. But with Daymark Realty, part of Coastal Credit Union, you can sell for an unbelievably low commission rate of 4.5%. Plus, professional staging and photography are included. Find out how Daymark and Coastal have saved members millions in fees and offer a better way to bank.
Select Physical Therapy is focused on patient safety now more than ever before. Select's centers remain open and offer a safe environment for you to receive physical therapy services. You don't need a doctor's referral to begin care and start feeling better today. Select Physical Therapy also offers telerehab, so you can easily connect with a licensed therapist through web-based technology that is HIPAA compliant, right from the comfort of your home. Visit selectphysicaltherapy.com to schedule an appointment. Select Physical Therapy, the power of physical therapy.
Welcome back here to ESPN Plus as we get set for USL action between North Carolina FC and Fort Lauderdale. And Austin, let's quickly get to the starting lineups. We mentioned NCFC made 2 changes. One is in goal, the other is in attack, as Thorne Simpson is going to take on the number 9 with a little bit of change in formation.
Yeah, a little bit of a different shape. The back four remains the same. Flores, Flick, Mbai, and Martinez. They've been solid. A little bit of a different shape in the midfield with Pekka sort of dropping in next to Peter Pearson in that defensive midfield area. And then up top, Thorne Simpson is going to be the target tonight with Mischic, Kamara, and Arriaga operating underneath him.
And as we get to Fort Lauderdale's lineup, they make 3 changes from their last game against Madison. And Acosta is up top. It looks like he might be playing as a false 9, trying to link up the midfield with the 2 strikers in Curry and Hundal.
Exactly. Georgie Acosta, not a target striker. He's going to be a guy that floats, goes and finds the game. But in the back, we've got Gadiri, Hardin, Rosales, and Young. In that midfield 3, we've got Neville, Evans, and Penn. And up top, as you mentioned, Curry and Hundal, with Acosta being that playmaker, that guy who's going to pull the strings.
And we'll be mentioning Harvey Neville's name a lot in the center of the midfield, as he is the son of a Manchester United legend, Phil Neville, who is now taking the job as the head coach of Inter Miami under the ownership of David Beckham.
Always a little bit of pressure, you know, when your dad is a coach. I've got a little bit of experience there. I don't think my dad was played at the level of Phil Neville, but there's always a little bit more expectation.
And as the players on both sides taking a knee, saying that there is no room for racism in sport and in life, as Fort Lauderdale in white gets us started here in Cary, North Carolina. This Fort Lauderdale side started their preseason really early on, especially once vaccinations for COVID-19 was starting at the beginning of the year. They had a normal preseason starting in March, and currently they're playing their 10th game of the campaign. They have 3 wins, 1 draw, and 5 losses, while NCFC had their preseason beginning in April with their first game at just earlier in May.
Definitely different, rhythm and momentum when you're going in your 10th game of the season as opposed to your 5th. 2 teams at different stages in their seasons for sure.
And here is Venton Evans with the first chance. And it's hit the side netting for a goal kick. And it all started with number 6, Harvey Neville, winning the ball and going on a good run. And there you see Damian Loss in goal for NCFC. As we mentioned in the open, he is on loan from Fulham. Came here to Cary, North Carolina at the end of April. Speaking with head coach John Bradford, he was nursing an injury when he came stateside. As there's a hard challenge by Christian Liu Young. Ball back in the hands of Fort Lauderdale. And here's Acosta, who, as we mentioned, has 5 assists so far this campaign. And looking to create as he gets a free kick here. A referee today is William Steffen, making the call on Peter Pearson. Quick restart, though.
Acosta, a very, very impressive young player. He spent a good amount of time here a couple seasons back, and just very technical. And for how young he is, he has a good bit of experience as well. He spent some time at the Boca Juniors Academy down in Argentina.
Yes, he's had an adventurous young career, only 21 years of age, and he is one of those guys that fluctuates between this Fort Lauderdale side, which is the reserve side for Inter Miami, and also with the first team for the MLS side. And as you mentioned, Austin, George Acosta, and several of these other players wanting to get the chance to possibly get called up to train with the Inter Miami side, who has some good players both in the stateside, Western Hemisphere-wise, as well a couple of international players, especially the Higuain brothers.
That's right, and I think that's the special thing about this league is, it gives young players the opportunity to gain some experience, gain some minutes, and they're also getting exposure to their MLS sides, right? And if, the idea is always that if you play well enough, you're going to get your opportunity at the highest level.
And one of those players was involved with a challenge with Nelson Martinez, and that is Sammy Gadiri, the left back and right back colliding over on the far side as both players are down. Get another look at this.
It was a hard challenge. Both players, just neither of them really pulling out, both going in full speed.
And both colliding hard, and both trainers are coming out now. And as we mentioned about how certain players for this Fort Lauderdale side is coming down from Inter Miami, one of them was Sammy Gadiri. It was just announced this week that he was going to play and be available for this team for head coach Darren Powell, who has helped build the player development for Inter Miami when he took the role last year, and now is the head coach for Fort Lauderdale. After some shuffling in the coaching staff, he was the assistant last year and now is the head man.
Darren's a very experienced coach, very good at developing young players. He was actually one of my club coaches growing up here in Greensboro, North Carolina, so known Darren for quite a long time. But excited to see what he does with this opportunity as a head coach in the professional ranks.
Well, right now, Martinez is up and walking a little gingerly, while Gadiri is still being treated. As you said, that both players coming in with full force, full commitment, and Gadiri getting the worst of it as a couple of the players on the bench for Fort Lauderdale warming up. You get another look at it again. Again, the full commitment from both guys. Looked like a knee-on-knee lower leg collision. And now Gadiri is up and slowly trying to walk it off.
Those ones will sting for a while. It was well done from Martinez to get there first and put in a hard tackle. Really set the tone early here for this NCFC side, who that's the type of, the statement that they need early in this game. They're looking for their first win. They're the home team, trying to show that there is some urgency about this situation for them, and they're not happy with where they're at right now.
Fort Lauderdale will restart things here under William Steffen's whistle, and now we're getting back to playing. Both sides playing 10-on-10 for the moment. And Gadiri still being instructed in terms of his movement by the trainers. Looked like the trainer gave the thumbs up. But we'll see how he progresses over the next several minutes, because usually those big challenges, you think you can go for a few minutes and then it's like, nah, I can't do it anymore. I need to come off.
Yeah, those ones are hard, and it looked like, the type of thing where there wasn't anything structurally wrong, not a serious injury, but the pain is just really difficult to play through, sort of a dead leg situation.
And one of those players, and Gadiri may not be ready to come back on, is he's still trying to run it off. Darren Powell's talking with one of the subs for Fort Lauderdale as Las gets it out to Nelson Flores, and it'll be a throw here for North Carolina here on this near side. As we said, NCFC so far playing their 5th game this year. They've had 1 draw and 3 losses, but all those losses have been by 1 goal. They haven't really been blown out, but they've been in tight contests, and it's, as we said in the open, it's those fine margins that sets the difference. The toughest one that they took was when they traveled up to Wisconsin, conceding that late 90 stoppage time winner against Madison. They had a chance to get a point, and it just slipped through their fingers.
They haven't been played off the pitch by any means in any of their games, but that's part of being a young team and developing and getting better, is figuring out ways to get points from those types of situations in tight games, especially at home.
Fort Lauderdale still playing with that man down as Gadiri is still trying to get some motion as Misic finds Kamara. First chance for NCFC is for a goal kick.
You could see the defenders collapse on Misic there in that situation, and that's an area of the field that he's had a lot of success in. He scored a couple of goals from these type of situations, and on this one he just slots it across to JT Kamara, and Kamara doesn't connect with it quite the way that he would want to, but good early sign from NCFC to get into that attacking third, get a shot off.
And now Gadiri is back on the field, so we are at even strength as Luis Zamudio, who's the goalkeeper for Fort Lauderdale, playing a short pass from the back as Hundel charges into Flores, and the late whistle gives a free kick to North Carolina. Both these coaches, Darren Powell and John Bradford, in their first year as head coach of these squads. And they've both grown through the ranks together. Speaking with Coach Bradford, he took their academy directors test together at around the same time. And when he was a youth when Coach Bradford was a youth director for Castle, he would alert Darren Powell, who was an assistant at Greensboro and formerly the head coach at Elon, about some players to say, hey, you might want to recruit him. And that's how Coach Powell grew through the ranks, through the college. And in 2014, he started in the professional ranks. And Gadiri is down on the far side, and it looks like Fort Lauderdale is going to have to make their first change as he can go no further. It's one of those tough things, and as we said in those challenges, give it a few minutes, and if it's a no-go, it's a no-go, and it's such a shame.
Yeah, difficult to play through those types of things, right? It's just so painful, and like I said, you feel like you can go because there's structurally nothing wrong. You don't feel like you're really gonna worsen the injury and be out for any extended period of time, but it really is. It's just the pain that doesn't allow you to continue.
Yeah, it looks like Fort Lauderdale is going to go with Ignacio Pavlovsky out of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and for Sammy Gadiri, the American out of Boca Raton, is done for the day as we get another look one more time at that injury that Gadiri took from a hard challenge from Nelson Martinez. And unfortunately, that does his day in as Pavlovsky comes into the fold.
Yeah, respect to Gadiri there for going in for that. At the same time, it seemed pretty clear that Martinez was going to get there first. You usually see players kind of run those off.
Number 35, Sammy Gadiri.
It's tough. It's tough to start a game that way, both for Gadiri and for his team. You hate to waste a substitute this early in the game, especially on a hot night like tonight.
So in terms of the changes, Pavlovsky is going into his central midfield roles. That's a great pass touch from Hundal as Venton Evans with a head of steam. Evans, and it's a great save by Damian Loss. His first action, and it's a corner kick to Fort Lauderdale. Just like that, the visitors on the attack.
Really great flick there from Hundal to put Evans in. You see Evans getting it on his right foot, trying to curl that one to the far post, and it deflects, and really solid save from Loss in his first start here tonight. Pushes that one wide.
George Acosta will deliver the corner kick. It's short to Penn. There were a lot of bodies right at the penalty spot. Fort Lauderdale plays short. Here's Pavlovsky with his first touch. Over to Christian Liu Young. Now Hundal against Malik Mbai. And that's a good job by Mbai, the former Clemson Tiger, who was, when he was a senior, was named the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. For that very impressive Clemson side that's really become a national powerhouse in college soccer. Not the best pass from Pekka, picked off by Evans, but he recovers well. Now Mishcic. Kamara. Trying to get away from Acosta. Looking for help. Mishcic, Pekka on the overlap and out by Rosales.
Some good stuff there from JT Kamara, making things happen. Pekka, you can see with the turnover, but the immediate recovery to win it back, and then the counter. Some good energy in the midfield so far for NCFC from Pekka and JT Kamara.
Here's Nelson Flores, and it's last touched by Fort Lauderdale, and it's going to be a corner kick. First corner kick for NCFC as Mishcic and Flores talking things over, and it's going to be Mishcic, the man who's on loan from the Philadelphia Union, who's been one of the star players for John Bradford and this NCFC side. Delivery is long, and it falls to naught. The SiriusXM Listen Free event is on now through June 8th. Catch 24/7 soccer, including USL All Access, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM FC channel 157. Plus hundreds of channels filled with entertainment. Download the SXM app to hear it all free. Go to SiriusXM.com/freekick to learn more.
You can see early on here the confidence that this Fort Lauderdale team has, particularly playing out of the back on every goal kick, really committed to building out. And if I'm NCFC, I'm stepping a little bit higher and trying to press. You know, you saw the one that they just had, much too easy for Fort Lauderdale to build out there. And credit to them for a young team. You know, you can see the connection that they have to the first team and the commitment to playing the same way. It's great for the development of some of these young players.
Here's Flores for North Carolina. Now Kamara. Good flick from JT Kamara. Now Pekka trying to shield off Acosta, but it's Acosta who picks it off. And now Josh Penn keeps it in, the former Indiana Hoosier. He played 1 year at IU and was also played with Indy 11. Now Peter Pearson over to Pekka. As Arriaga at the far side, but plays it short to Kamara. Kamara again, Acosta picking NCFC off single-handedly. Here's Hundal, and that heavy touch just gets away from him, and Loss comes out strong and gets it out.
It's well done from Loss there, but again, the youth showing in that turnover from JT Kamara right at midfield. You can see here, just too casual. George Acosta does well to pick that off, and he springs the counter. A great slip ball in, and the first touch from Hundal, not what it needed to be there, but a little bit too loose from JT Kamara there around the halfway line.
Yeah, with Gaderi coming out, Harvey Neville is now playing out at left back with Poplovsky and Acosta in the middle. Initially it's a 4-3-3, but it kind of looks like a 4-2-4 as Mitchell Curry was trying to spring away from Mbai, especially when they're on offense. It looks like a 4-2-4 for Fort Lauderdale.
It does, you're right. And we're going to see, you know, some good interchange between those players, all talented attacking players that can probably operate in a lot of different areas on the field.
Here's Max Flick in his first year with NCFC, as back to his center back partner Mbai. Now Pekka. Fort Lauderdale playing things a little narrower here as Mishcic trying to spin away, dribbling into the center, now forced backward by Acosta, and back to Pekka. Fullback's a little higher up for NCFC as Kamara now has it, trying to shake off Pavlovsky, trying to chip it to Mishcic, dealt with by Rosales. And now Liu Young has Penn as an option, but decides to pass back instead. Rosales, Pavlovsky. Now here's Acosta. Ball deflected by Pekka and Mbai to the foot of Evans, who gets it out wide. Here's Harvey Neville. Neville against Martinez, and that's excellent defending by Martinez. It's another corner kick, but it's that slight little danger that Fort Lauderdale continues to present.
Yep, Harvey Neville taking on Nelson Martinez here 1v1. Martinez tracks him, does really well to block the cross. That's all you can ask from your defender. But well done from Harvey Neville there. You know, as you said, he had to make the change to that left back spot early on here in the game, and he's getting involved in the attack. He looks very comfortable.
George Acosta yet again taking the corner kick in front of the Oak City supporters. Out by Arriaga. And headed to the side by Pavlovsky and Neville. Trying to get it long to Acosta. And again, it's another corner kick. It looks like Fort Lauderdale's getting that space of separation from the defender that allows them to give them that burst of speed. That's what we've seen in the first 18 minutes, is when they get that burst of speed, they go.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very, very effective on the counter so far. Also effective in possession. I think it's been a good balance. They look like a very confident team. You know, I've been impressed with them so far.
Here's Acosta's corner kick. Got some air under it, and Hundal was challenged by Mbai right at the apex of that corner kick, and it's a chance wasted.
Yeah, Mbai looks like he loses Hundal here, but he recovers just enough to put him off at the last minute, I think, and a good chance for Hundal there to put one in the back of the net, but Mbai did just enough.
Hundal, a 21-year-old out of Toronto, Canada, was part of the Toronto FC Academy and stayed in Canada before coming down south to play with Fort Lauderdale. Kamara shakes off Acosta, and now Luis Arriaga. Miscic, Pekka. Arriaga trying to put it in space for Simpson to run, but he stops it, thinking he may have been flagged for offsides as Rosales tracks back. Pearson with the header. And Evans touches it to Neville. Here's Ethan Hardin, 18 years old and is the captain of this Fort Lauderdale side. The center back from England has started every game for Fort Lauderdale so far this year.
Yeah, you love to see that. And again, just another benefit of this league and the opportunities that it presents young players. For a kid like that, 18 years old, to step into a professional environment and wear the captain's armband, just is going to do wonders for his development. And you know, I'm sure there's other kids in the Inter Miami Academy that are seeing that and saying, you know what, that could be me.
Well, he signed with Inter Miami and Fort Lauderdale last year as the cross in by Acosta is dealt with by Las, who has done well in his early part of his career. We said he was part of the US U17 team and then moved across the pond and has played with the Fulham under-18 side and the Fulham U23 side, and is now back on loan from Fulham, who was just recently relegated from the Premier League. They will be starting their 2021-22 campaign in the championship as Pearson intercepted that ball from Liu Young, and Simpson could not get a touch. Neville to Venton Evans, who has scored 3 goals for this Fort Lauderdale side. We mentioned it's their 10th game, and obviously with the number of games played, they have scored the most goals in the league. As here's Mitchell Curry, and that's excellent defense from Max Flick.
Really, really good tackle there from Max Flick. An important one.
Miscic is looking towards Simpson, plucked away by Rosales, and now Pavlovsky finds Evans, the Jamaican. Here's Neville. Pavlovsky, now Acosta. Evans now back in his natural left wing position. That was not the best pass, and Fort Lauderdale able to recover. Here's Penn as Liu Young in support down the right side. Looking for the cross here, and it's an excellent header by Max Flick. So far, the back line for NCFC doing its job.
Max Flick coming up big there twice in the last couple of minutes. We see this one, a good slip ball out down the right side, and a dangerous cross in. Max Flick just trying to make sure that one doesn't make its way across the box. And he's been a guy that has come up big for NCFC all throughout the season, and not sure how much they expected of him coming in. He's sort of an unknown quantity, but he stepped right in and led the back line.
Yeah, he's from the Pittsburgh area. He spent 4 years playing in the NPSL with 2 teams, Pittsburgh Hotspur and Fort Pitt Regiment. As Penn delivers this corner kick from the near side, dealt with by North Carolina, and now JT Kamara trying to hook up with Nelson Martinez in space. But there's not a lot of help. He's on an island. And now he'll slow things down and not continue with the counterattack. So far, as we're more than halfway through the game, Austin, what do you think about how NCFC have played and kept their shape? Because we haven't seen a lot of big movement offensively. It's more of keep the shape and then play well defensively so far these first 24 minutes.
Yeah, for me, it's been a little bit casual, a little bit loose. Too many turnovers in the midfield areas, not sharp enough, and the tempo I think could be a little bit higher as well. So, you know, I think they've been fairly organized. They haven't allowed Fort Lauderdale to threaten too much, but, you know, would just like to see a little bit more going forward, as you mentioned. One thing I think is the change from last week, bringing in Thorne Simpson as a target striker is to look for him more. That's why he's up there, is to be a target, to hold the ball up, to bring other people into the play, and I don't think that they've used him quite enough in that fashion.
Here's Martinez over to Mbai. Now Flick. Do you think it's also with the formation? Because I see Acosta and Popolowski, if they're looking, you know, if NCFC is looking towards Pekka or Kamara, they're coming up on them. As a free kick is going to be given here. Neville with the challenge on, I believe it's Arriaga.
I think you're right. Credit to Fort Lauderdale for making it difficult for them to break down, as we see here, Nelson Martinez winning the foul.
Actually, it was Evans who committed the challenge.
Does a good job to get in front of him and draw that contact. But yeah, I think you're right. You know, it's Fort Lauderdale's made it difficult to break them down. And when it is side to side and not enough, you know,
breaking the lines,
in between the lines, finding that target striker and getting beyond that midfield four, it's a little bit of both, right?
And I kind of also will kind of quell what Mishcic and Arriaga can do coming inside from the wing positions. As NCFC have a free kick here. The boys in blue right at the edge of the box. And it looks like it's going to be Mishcic. We'll send it in towards Flick. Came in late on his run against Hardin, and it's going to be a goal kick.
A good battle there between Hardin and Flick.
The United Soccer League, all 12 League One clubs and its players stand together in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. For more information on the USL's commitment to change through the United Against Racism campaign, visit uslsoccer.com. Here in the 28th minute, still goalless between North Carolina and Fort Lauderdale. As on the turnover, Mishcic trying to find Simpson onside. Thorne Simpson hits the side netting, and he's going to get a corner kick. I believe Zamudio just got a touch on it.
A little bit better there from NCFC. Thorne Simpson with a really nice run in behind. You can see here he picks it up in the box, a dangerous area, a difficult angle, and he probably was not a corner kick there, but fortunate to end up with one.
Yeah, and we have not seen Fort Lauderdale make a mistake like that. That's what sprung the counterattack and that chance for North Carolina as Selmir Mishcic with the corner kick. Again, it's deep. Flick heads it back, and Zamudio over at the far post, able to collect. Luis Zamudio, the 22-year-old, originally from Las Vegas, but he is of both American and Mexican descent, and he spent some time at the Club America down in Mexico City, and for a time trained with the Mexican goalkeeper great Memo Ochoa. And for those who are fans of U.S. soccer and for El Tri, they'll be facing off tomorrow in the CONCACAF Nations League final.
Excited to watch that one.
And it's exciting to see, you know, for American fans who saw the UEFA Champions League final as Christian Pulisic became the first American to win the Champions League. He's now back stateside with the national team. So stars from both the U.S. and Mexico will be in action tomorrow. As Mbai, a little bit of a shove in the back. Hundal was looking for a call there. But play continues as Peter Pearson is on the ball for North Carolina.
Yeah, another unforced turnover there in the midfield from Pearson, and it's just been a few too many of those for me, for NCFC in these first 30 minutes.
Evans, Acosta, Penn back to Evans. Fullbacks now forward as the wingers have inverted. Here's a pass to Liu Young. Liu Young across goal, goal! Mitchell Curry, the number 9 for Fort Lauderdale, puts the visitors in front. And that was a patient build after the recovery. And that great cross from Christian Liu Young, a simple tap in. And Fort Lauderdale is up 1-0.
Excellent team goal there from Fort Lauderdale. It all started with Georgie Acosta in the midfield, slips in Venton Evans, and this is a great, great ball from Venton Evans to find Liu Young on the right side. Perfect service, right on the doorstep. Mitchell Curry just has to redirect it home.
Now, with the way this game is played, it looks like they deserve to be in front in terms of how aggressive they are when they're on the ball. As you see Mitchell Curry with the goal, his second this season. He scored his first career goal in their last game in a 2-2 draw against Madison down in South Beach. But Curry, a 21-year-old out of Newcastle, England, who came through the ranks in the academy program at Middlesbrough. And as he started his professional career, he recently played for Sunderland down in League One in England before coming to play for Fort Lauderdale this season. And he's been a bright addition for Darren Powell and this Fort Lauderdale side.
Yeah, he's not going to be on the score sheet there, but again, you know, we highlighted him before the game, and that goal starts with George Acosta picking up the ball in the midfield, and he's just so composed. He never looks rushed. He's always playing at his own pace, and it was a simple ball into Venton Evans, just a few yards, but perfectly weighted, puts him in on his front foot, and allows Venton Evans to play that really nice slip ball down the right side.
Ball over the top was looking to Evans, and Mbai gets on top of it. You mentioned how we mentioned George Acosta in the Open and how he's played today. This week, George Acosta was named one of the 5 nominees for the USL Player of the Month for April and May as the season has started here in 2021. Acosta, as we said, 1 goal and 5 assists. We have a couple other links to NCFC. Marios Lomas of Greenville, who is leading the league with 5 goals so far this campaign, as well as, I believe, what was Dean's nickname for Akira Fitzgerald? Was the Irish Ninja?
The Irish Ninja.
The Irish Ninja so far has 3 clean sheets for Richmond.
He's like a fine wine, just getting better with age. But yeah, great to see those guys having so much success, and Marios Lomas is somebody who we saw what he could do here, and he suffered a really serious injury while he was here, and it's been awesome to see him work his way back to full form and score goals at the rate that he is.
The other 2 players are Damia Viadar of Union Omaha, the fullback, as well as Garrett McLaughlin, the striker for Toronto 2, who has 3 goals and an assist in his first 4 games for North Carolina FC. And it looks like the boys in blue are going to be making a change here in this first half, as one of their new signings, Charmaine Martin, is going to come in. Here's Arriaga to Thorne Simpson. And the cross is blocked by Neville.
I like this from Coach John Bradford in an early change.
And it's going to be for Nelson Martinez, the right back.
And that sends a message. It's, again, a team playing at home, should be on the front foot, looking for their first win still. And it hasn't been good enough for these first 35 minutes. So John Bradford says, hey, I'm going to send a message here. We're going to make a change. Unexpected probably from Nelson Martinez, but I think that's the type of thing that these young players need, is that understanding that, if it's not going well, we need to make changes. This is a professional ranks. This is your livelihood. I think that's something that they need to start to understand a little bit more of. And talking to some of the veterans, that's a message that I think needs to be put across a little bit more. Is, this is serious stuff. This is your job. This is, it has to improve.
Long ball over the top to Thorne Simpson. Backheel pass to Kamara. Kamara, Misic, 1-1. An excellent goal, and Selmir Misic can't stop scoring here at Wake Med.
He does it again, and just as Fort Lauderdale scored a really nice team goal, North Carolina FC does the same. Fantastic build-up and interplay between Thorne Simpson and JT Kamara there. And Misic is the beneficiary. You can see nice ball over the top. Thorne Simpson getting in behind that back line. Perfectly weighted back heel. JT Kamara takes a good first and second touch, and Misic is where he needs to be to put that one home.
That is pretty, no matter what way you say about it. And he said the vision above Kamara, just slipping it past Zamudio, and an easy tap in for Selmir Misic, his third goal of the season, and he has scored every goal for NCFC.
And that's exactly the response that I think John Bradford is probably looking for. I don't know. I wouldn't say that the substitution had anything to do with that, as it was so immediate, but you have to think everybody on the field sees that substitution happen and says, I need to pick it up, because that could have been me. I think Nelson Martinez, like I said, he's the one who was pulled out, but it really could have been anyone.
Well, I was also going to say, before the long ball by Mbai that created the goal, because Nelson Martinez was in that collision with Gadiri, and was he, in this heat and humidity, still in the 80s, it's a bit humid out here. Was it, also an injury concern? Which was a fair question,
yeah.
and then the goal was created, and now looking at NCFC's back line as Evans is flagged for offsides. Max Flick has moved to right back, and then you have Mbai and Martina as the center backs.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. I think you're right. I was looking down on the bench, and we can see Nelson Martinez getting treatment from the trainer, so it very well could have been an injury concern. But at the same time, I think a change was warranted, whether there was an injury or not.
Well, the patience is now paid off, as this Fort Lauderdale side playing a very good defensive shape, but that they're susceptible to a one ball over the top. And now Arriaga finds Misic, the goal scorer, to Flores. Stayed in bounds? No, flag went up. And it'll be a goal kick to Fort Lauderdale. Good connection there from Misic and Flores as Fort Lauderdale gets things going yet again. Rosales, Lou Young, who is credited with the assist for that brilliant goal for Fort Lauderdale. Long ball towards Curry, and the collision between Kamara and Acosta has resulted in a free kick. Actually, it's Pekka and Acosta has resulted in a quick free kick and a quick restart. Here's Martina. Martina started his career playing in the second tier of Dutch football, but is originally from Curaçao, as that Pass from Mbai, gets away from Martina. Here's Curry, Hundal. Oh my goodness, that's a sitter. And he just missed it.
Wow, that's one of those that's tougher to miss than to make, I think. That one's going to keep him up tonight. But again, a needless turnover. Mitchell Curry does really well to put this one at the back post. And
yeah, I think it hit his left foot. So he was trying to hit it, strike it in, and that's why it went wide of the post. But that was a golden opportunity, as you mentioned, off the mistake. Fans, you can follow North Carolina FC and the rest of USL League One all season long on ESPN+. Home to the USL, MLS, Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Join the more than 12 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN+ and watch League One live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com as the cross from Mitchell Curry is out by Mbai for a corner kick. That was dangerous.
It was, yeah. I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but it's another unforced turnover from Selmir Miscic around the midfield line, which allows Fort Lauderdale to go counter. And Mitchell Curry putting another dangerous ball in. Malik Mbai ultimately does a good job to clear the danger, but the turnovers are coming thick and fast, and Fort Lauderdale is going to take advantage of one here before too long.
Penn with a corner kick towards Hardin, dealt with by Martina. We'll do it again, and if this continues, I know that's definitely something that John Bradford's really going to harp at them on in terms of the mistakes that they're making that are self-inflicting. A lot of man-to-man marking right at the penalty spot as George Acosta will take another corner kick for Fort Lauderdale here. Punched out by Loss, and I believe a whistle was called by William Steffen, so free kick to North Carolina. Gives them a chance to breathe a sigh of relief, knowing that John Bradford wants to try to instill some small elements of discipline here in terms of how they move the ball against this Fort Lauderdale side for the second half. As again, the boys in white, the visitors from Miami, are back on the ball with Rosales.
It was a nice ball there from Martina out wide, though, and it's good to see that confidence from him coming into a strange situation to be subbed into the first half of a game as a center back.
Here's Christian Liu Young, who had the assist on the first goal against Miscic. Now back to Acosta. Acosta trying to chip it towards Curry. And it's collected up by Loss. .43rd minute here. North Carolina 1, Fort Lauderdale 1. We know there will be a couple of minutes of stoppage time here at the end of this first half, particularly after the injury early on in the collision between Martinez and Gadiri. Here's Kamara. Just a hair long to Arriaga. And if you're head coach Darren Powell, I'd say even though you gave up the goal on a mistake, in terms of your defensive shape, you got to be pretty pleased with how the game is going in terms of your progression up the field.
I think so, yeah. I think he'll be very pleased with some of the attacking play, some of the possession. I think he'll be disappointed that they've let NCFC back into this game that it seemed like they had, pretty firm control over for the first 30 minutes or so, but at the same time, it's still early. There's plenty of game left and a lot to like from Fort Lauderdale.
And now one thing that Fort Lauderdale is going to have to contend with is defensive line that's playing a little higher, trying to force the offsides trap as Curry is flagged again for Fort Lauderdale. It's currently the third time they've been flagged for offsides. Pekka on the ball for North Carolina. Now Flick, who's transitioned from center back to right back. Now Mbai. Looking for some movement, trying to get it over the top. Was looking towards Thorne Simpson, headed by Hardin. Second ball by Mbai. Simple touch, but effective by Neville. And now Poplovsky trying to spring Curry. On the far side, it's Mitchell Curry, the goal scorer for Fort Lauderdale. Trying to link up with Neville, and that's good defense by Max Flick yet again. Shielding his man off.
Yeah, Flick has been excellent in this first half. Really disciplined there to track his runner all the way through.
As we come to the end of the first 45 minutes, we find out there are 4 minutes of stoppage time here in this first half.
4 minutes of additional time in the first half. 4 minutes.
Well, Martina under some pressure after that diagonal pass from Flick. And Las can only really do one thing, and that was boot it long.
You could see Martina there telling Flick, just send it long yourself. You know, they're putting each other in some bad spots here when really somebody's just got to take the initiative to get the ball up the field and eliminate some of that risk.
Pearson on the challenge on Poplovsky. Kamara and Arriaga link up. It's 3-on-1 for NCFC, and Kamara's touch is too strong to Simpson. Oh my gosh, that was a golden chance to take the lead at halftime.
Yeah, nice counter, but ball was a little bit heavy from JT Kamara there, and we'll get another look at it here. A good touch there, and Arriaga springs Kamara, and it looks like a 3v1. It's a straight ball for a straight run, which is always difficult to connect on, and goalkeeper did well to come off his line and grab that one.
Rosales. Poplovsky. The Argentinian now to the Englishman, Harvey Neville. And his counterpart, Ethan Hardin. Evans. Rosales, the Cuban. Here's Acosta. Well dealt with by Flick, and now Kamara against Poplovsky, trying to shake him off. Instead of a simple pass, trying to deke Hardin there to allow Thorne Simpson to get on the ball, but no harm, no foul. So we're midway through stoppage time here in this first half. Pekka. Mbai. Flick. Down the line to Kamara. Spryly touch towards Arriaga, picked off by Poplovsky, and now here's George Acosta, the young American from Miami. Over to Venton Evans. He has Neville in an overlap. Good ball. Harvey Neville across the face of goal, and it's dealt with well by North Carolina FC. I believe it was Martina there against Hundal, and it's a corner kick to Fort Lauderdale.
Really dangerous ball there from Neville into that near post, and Hundal arrives a little bit late. You like to see strikers kind of gamble in those situations and make that early run to the near post, expecting that service. Unfortunately, just a couple steps behind on that one.
And one of the things I asked Coach Bradford about in terms of how to prep their defense is William Steffen halting play for just a moment as there's a little bit of pushing and shoving at the end line. This Fort Lauderdale side, yes, they've played 10 games, but one of their key points in terms of attacking is the fullbacks getting crosses in. They are #1 in the league in terms of crosses into the box.
And if fantastic job of that tonight.
Sometimes one man with a cross, sometimes the two men linking together as Pearson deals with the corner kick from Acosta. Hardin tracking all the way back here to the near side. Pekka picks his pocket. And that's a dangerous out by Martinez. It allows Fort Lauderdale to keep it here. Here's Venton Evans, and a block by Pearson. Gives another corner kick just at the end of stoppage time.
Good block by Pearson there. He's another guy who quietly has been very, very good this first half. He's broken up a lot of plays. Some big blocks.
And this looks like this will be the final action here as we've had the 4 minutes. George Acosta's ball towards the near post, and Hundal got his head to it. And the whistle is blown for halftime here at Wake Med Soccer Park. Mitchell Curry scoring the goal from Fort Lauderdale on a brilliant pass by Christian Liu Young. But NCFC getting one back on an excellent pass from JT Kamara to Selmir Mishcic in the 35th minute. 45 minutes are complete here at Wake Med Soccer Park. It's North Carolina 1, Fort Lauderdale 1.
Selling your home often comes at a cost. Many realtors charge commissions of 6%, which seriously cuts into your profits. But with Daymark Realty, part of Coastal Credit Union, you can sell for an unbelievably low commission rate of 4.5%. Plus, professional staging and photography are included. Find out how Daymark and Coastal have saved members millions in fees and offer a better way to bank.
Select Physical Therapy is focused on patient safety now more than ever before. Select's centers remain open and offer a safe environment for you to receive physical therapy services. You don't need a doctor's referral to begin care and start feeling better today. Select Physical Therapy also offers telerehab, so you can easily connect with a licensed therapist through web-based technology that is HIPAA compliant, right from the comfort of your home. Visit selectphysicaltherapy.com to schedule an appointment. Select Physical Therapy, the power of physical therapy.
Behind this shot, there's a story of well-loved cleats and pride-soaked jerseys, a story of years of support and leadership. There is a story of family. Behind every shot, there's soccer.com. Greatness grows here.
Continental Tire has been a proud supporter of soccer for more than a decade. We've been there both on and off the field for some of the greatest celebrations. We've watched with you as the game and personalities have gotten bigger. We are proud to continue standing alongside you, supporting the game that gives us all so much. Together, we've shared thousands of incredible goals and celebrations. Here's to many more to come.
A very entertaining first half here in Cary, North Carolina, as North Carolina FC and Fort Lauderdale Club de Football are tied at 1 after 45 minutes. Hello and welcome again here on ESPN Plus. I'm Brian Ware along with former NCFC midfielder Austin DeLuz. And Austin, this game has been very interesting in terms of how Fort Lauderdale has progressed the ball at the field and how North Carolina has defended and then tried to spring the counterattack against them. And that's how both goals were created.
A disappointing start from NCFC, I think, but like you said, they did enough to kind of stay in the game. And with about 15 minutes left in that first half, they seemed to turn it on a little bit and got themselves back in it with a really nice goal. But it's two good teams, a lot of young, exciting players. It's been a good first half.
And as we take a quick second, we're going to look at the upcoming schedules for both sides. First, for North Carolina FC, after their homestand, they got to go down on the road to take on a good Greenville team and a very good Chattanooga side.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier for North Carolina FC. As you said, Greenville, really strong team, defending champions. And North Carolina FC, as they continue to look for that first win, like I said, not going to get any easier. So some tough games here, but good experience as well.
We mentioned how there's only 12 teams in League One. This is an interesting look right there. You got to play Toronto 2 3 games in a row for Fort Lauderdale. Now with the COVID, the barrier still between the U.S. and Canada, Toronto FC are playing their games in Arizona. So it's going to be a long trip back and forth between Toronto and Fort Lauderdale.
Odd situation for sure. To play the same team 3 times in a row and to have that type of travel, really difficult, but it is what it is. They're going to try to get the most out of it, and then they follow those games up with one on the road at FC Tucson, one on the road at Richmond, so a difficult run for Fort Lauderdale as well.
But it's a good chance to get some points and try to build their playoff standing. As we're going to take a quick break here, we are tied at 1 between North Carolina and Fort Lauderdale. We'll talk about some USL news and notes and highlights coming up at halftime.
I wasn't going to let anything get in my way of achieving my goals, which were to be a professional soccer player. So the first opportunity I got at preseason, when a teammate asked if I was dating a girl or something, I just came out to a bunch of my teammates at dinner and said, no, I'm gay. All I needed to do was that one time, because then I didn't lie. Your sexuality should never limit you from playing the sport you love.
Yellow's there again, second header. Here's a chance for Cicerone. Russell Cicerone, the leading goal scorer.
At Strategic Systems, we understand that a reliable IT infrastructure doesn't just materialize by itself. We've been helping Triangle businesses of all sizes build and manage secure, reliable technology solutions for over 25 years. Strategic Systems and CEI. Are you transforming your business?
Continental Tire has been a proud supporter of soccer for more than a decade. We've been there both on and off the field for some of the greatest celebrations. We've watched with you as the game and personalities have gotten bigger. We are proud to continue standing alongside you, supporting the game that gives us all so much. Together, we've shared thousands of incredible goals and celebrations. Here's to many more to come.
So, how do you like your urgent care? At Wake Med, we have urgent care just about everywhere. Urgent care that specializes in orthopedics and kids. My Care 365, open every day of the year. Even virtual urgent care. Yup, urgent care in your jammies on your tablet. So download the Wake Med All Access app and get urgent care that's caring, convenient, and just the way you like it.
North Carolina and Fort Lauderdale deadlocked at 1. As you see, families and fans of all ages enjoying the game here at Cary, North Carolina. Brian Ware and Austin DeLuz on the call for you. And Austin, let's quickly look at the standings as they are coming into this weekend of USL League One action. And as you can see, really the top 4 in Greenville, Madison, Omaha, and Chattanooga have really set the tone of who the best teams in this league are so far at the beginning of 2021.
2021 and 2020, I think we saw a lot of those same teams near the top of the league last year. And like you said, they're the standard bearers. They've set the standard for the entire league. I think particularly Greenville and Forward Madison have been really great representatives of this league over the last couple of years.
But I would say don't count out a team like Richmond. You also have the teams in like New England and North Texas who are kind of in that same mold of what Fort Lauderdale is, like the reserves and academy players that are playing, they're in their first action of professional football.
Absolutely. We saw what North Texas was capable of last season, and they're a team that can be dangerous at any point. That academy has turned out some really, really fantastic players over the years, and they're always going to be dangerous, so I would keep an eye on them as well.
And it's a busy week of USL action here. Currently, Richmond is leading against New England by a score of 3-1. We have a couple other games. South Georgia hosting Chattanooga, Tucson and Toronto, the short drive between Tucson and Toronto, and then tomorrow, Madison against Omaha. And we'll talk about forward Madison. They have done really well in the second half of their last 2 games. That has kept them unbeaten. Josh Keegan scored an excellent counterattack goal, and Derek Gebhardt, who I think may have not just the goal of the week or goal of the month, maybe the goal of the season so far. He had a great equalizer against Fort Lauderdale earlier this week. Chattanooga, comeback kings yet again when they won against Richmond.
Yeah, exciting stuff from Chattanooga and Forward Madison, and you can see their Revolution win their first game at home. They defeated Fort Lauderdale 1-0 on a set-piece goal, Pierre Cayette. And goalkeeper Earl Edwards Jr. preserved the win with a huge PK save to get the Revs that first win at home.
And since there weren't too many games played last week, you see a lot of teams congested together in terms of the team of the week, including a player that we know true to our hearts. Connor Tobin, at 34 years of age, is the USL League One Player of the Week. He scored his first goal of the season. It was the game winner against South Georgia. But you see Tobin, Christian Diaz, Justin Succo, and Aaron Malloy, 4 players from Madison, 3 players from New England, 2 players from Chattanooga, and 2 from Tucson, including Derry Corfey, who was instrumental when they came here last week in that 2-1 win.
He was dangerous last week. He's been very good for FC Tucson throughout the season, and I got to shout out my guy Connor Tobin there. Look at that ugly mug. That's about as much of a smile as you're going to get out of Connor Tobin. You can see right there on the screen, but so cool to see him continuing to perform at this level at his age. I believe you said he was, what, 70, 71?
Yeah, about half that. Well, we're at halftime here, and at the end of this break, we'll show you the highlights and get set for the second half here on ESPN+.
Selling your home often comes at a cost. Many realtors charge commissions of 6%, which seriously cuts into your profits. But with Daymark Realty, part of Coastal Credit Union, you can sell for an unbelievably low commission rate of 4.5%. Plus, professional staging and photography are included. Find out how Daymark and Coastal have saved members millions in fees and offer a better way to bank.
Hi, I'm Dre Fortune from NCFC, and I'm here at Alpaca to enjoy one of my favorite dishes. The Chop Chop Special is their daily special on Wednesdays. It comes with rice, black beans, their famous rotisserie chicken, and pico de gallo.
Hi, this is DJ Taylor. I'm from North Carolina FC, and I'm here at Alpaca trying my favorite dish. I usually get the half chicken with corn and rice with the sweet yellow sauce. I love the chicken because it's fresh chicken and it's rotisserie grilled.
Come check us out on a Saturday and go to any Alpaca location near you.
Select Physical Therapy is focused on patient safety now more than ever before. Select's centers remain open and offer a safe environment for you to receive physical therapy services. You don't need a doctor's referral to begin care and start feeling better today. Select Physical Therapy also offers telerehab, so you can easily connect with a licensed therapist through web-based technology that is HIPAA compliant, right from the comfort of your home. Visit selectphysicaltherapy.com to schedule an appointment. Select Physical Therapy, the power of physical therapy.
Behind this shot, there's a story of well-loved cleats and pride-soaked jerseys. A story of years of support and leadership. There is a story of family. Behind every shot, there's soccer.com. Greatness grows here.
North Carolina and Fort Lauderdale currently tied at 1 as we get set for the start of the second half. Brian Ware and Austin DeLuz here with you. And Austin, let's quickly get to the highlights between these two sides. And it was Fort Lauderdale that really put the pressure on North Carolina FC early on.
They did. They came out ready to play. You could see Evans there putting one on target, lost with the save here. George Acosta slipping in Hundal, and Hundal's first touch lets him down, but they threatened early. They threatened often. And here's Mitchell Curry. A good intervention there from Max Flick, who was fantastic in the first half. And Christian Liu Young was dangerous on that right side. Good service. Here we see Selmir Miscic springing Thorne Simpson down the left. Thorne Simpson picks it up and tries to slot this one near post, but puts it into the side netting on the outside of the goal. And here we see the goal. Lou Young slots this one across. Mitchell Curry's there to tap it in, and it was really nice build-up from Fort Lauderdale, some good possession play. That put them up 1-0, and it was all Fort Lauderdale until this moment. A good ball in behind from Malik Mbai. Thorne Simpson with the cheeky back heel. JT Kamara picks it up, takes a couple of touches, finds Selmir Miscic, who's been on fire, and he taps it home. And that got North Carolina FC back into the game. They came to life after a disappointing opening to that first half.
And it was almost 2-1 here on this mistake.
Fort Lauderdale again, a needless turnover from NCFC. They put the ball across, and Hundal, not sure how he misses this one, but fortunate for NCFC to remain tied going into halftime.
Quickly looking at the stats, Fort Lauderdale out shooting North Carolina 7-4. It's been pretty even in terms of possession, but the number of corner kicks that Fort Lauderdale have had, 8. It just shows you how dangerous they've been offensively.
They have, and North Carolina FC has done a good job of dealing with those corner kicks. I think they've defended well on those set pieces.
And North Carolina gets us started here in the second half. As there's a slip by Hardin. Thorne Simpson is in. Thorne Simpson, and Zamudio comes in with a great impact. Not just 20 seconds at the start of the second half. And it's a corner kick for North Carolina, but that was a golden chance after the slip by Hardin.
It was. You can see there, slip. Thorne Simpson's in behind. Zamudio did a great job to close down that angle. He was ready to come off his line. But a good start for North Carolina FC, exactly what you want to open up a second half as you're deadlocked at 1.
Selmir Miscic will deliver the corner kick. It's headed by Pearson, right at the edge of the 6-yard box. Flick recovers and keeps the pressure on. Flores, headed by Pearson. Fort Lauderdale wanted offside. And the cross from Flick is back-headed by Evans. And so far in the opening minute, North Carolina sharp, to the point. And you could tell that's probably from what Coach John Bradford wanted to say to his side, especially when you said he made the change before right around the time that North Carolina equalized. Offensively, they're looking a little sharper.
Yeah, ever since that change was made, the goal came, and North Carolina FC seems to be a little bit more involved in the game, a little bit sharper. Still a few too many turnovers and needless giveaways.
There's some pressure here from JT Kamara and Luis Zamudio. Trying to find Acosta. He's pushed from behind by Peter Pearson. And a free kick to Fort Lauderdale as Kamara trying to slow things down here as quick restart, ball over the top. Looking towards Mitchell Curry and Damian Loss, the starting goalkeeper today for North Carolina, who is on loan from Fulham.
He's been solid so far in his first start, hasn't he?
I think so. He hasn't really made any. He's made the save that he had to make at the beginning of the game, but outside the goal, which was not of his, mistake, he's been very vocal and tried to keep the defense in line.
A good presence for a young goalkeeper, and I'm sure he's benefited from working with Jake McGuire day in and day out as well, who's been fantastic for NCFC. But good to see Laux get a game here and just continue to get that development.
19 years of age. A couple years ago was part of the U.S. U17 national team as Harvey Neville sends a long ball up top to Mitchell Curry. And there's a call for Laux handling the ball outside the box. That's what Darren Powell and the Fort Lauderdale staff wanted, but it'll just be a throw.
We're singing his praises, and he
almost made a mistake there.
It may have been. He may have gotten away with one here, but a really nice ball over the top from Harvey Neville, and Laux, I'm not sure if he holds on to it over the line, but either way, did well enough to avoid any danger there.
Here's George Acosta to Ignacio Pavlovsky. Two midfielders linking up. Now Sean Hundal. Great simple passes by Fort Lauderdale over to Venton Evans. Pavlovsky, Hundal, Pavlovsky. Great save by Loss with a one-handed punch to the far side.
I'll tell you what, that might have been the goal of the season if that had ended up in the back of the net.
I mean, that's something you see from how Manchester City or Barcelona play, the way that bing, bang, boom.
Yeah, really
tic-tac
good
goal.
Really good combination play through the midfield. Again, Acosta kind of at the heart of it all, and Loss comes up big.
So too in Pavlovsky when he came into that advanced position.
Yeah, Pavlovsky's a guy who's been very good since he came on as well in the first half.
That's the 23-year-old out of Buenos Aires on loan from Estudiantes in Argentina. Here's Nelson Flores to Pekka. Now back to Charmaine Martina, who came on for Nelson Martinez in the first half as he springs Mishcic, the goal scorer, looking to Simpson. Went past everybody, and Neville hits it out for a corner kick.
Fantastic ball there from Martina to spring. I believe it was Mishcic down that left side.
It was.
Good early ball in behind, and Harvey Neville, this is, you know, it's a small thing, but it's a very mature decision from him to just put that one out of play, kill the danger. Don't try any wild clearances or anything like that. Don't let the ball run in behind you, as you don't know what the attacker's doing.
Mishcic's corner kick, dealt with by Rosales. And now Acosta springs Josh Penn. The counterattack could be on as Mitchell Curry is on the ball for Fort Lauderdale on the far side. 4-on-3 if they can play it right. Mitchell Curry slips it to Acosta in the box. Acosta, and the chance springs wide.
Another dangerous counterattack from Fort Lauderdale there. Started with a nice ball across the field from Josh Penn to Mitchell Curry, and Acosta again at the end of it. Not the best finish, but still involved, still dangerous.
Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportamerica.com. Here's Pearson for North Carolina, trying to look for some movement from his attacking players. Pass it back to Malik Mbai. Now Martina. Mishcic. Pearson. Gonna go long, headed by Hardin, right into the path of Acosta. Nutmegs the referee, Pavlovsky. Acosta trying to slip it through to Curry, and Martina intervenes. Again, another slip and a stumble by Pavlovsky, and now North Carolina could be on as Mishcic finds Simpson. Thorne Simpson centers to Kamara, lays it off to Arriaga. Excellent stop by Luis Zamudio. And that's that creativity by JT Kamara. Just in simple spaces, just find the open man and keep the attack going.
It was a perfectly weighted ball to find Arriaga, and Arriaga, to his credit, he gets good pace on it, keeps it on frame, but it's right at Zamudio, who does a good job to parry it away.
54th minute here, North Carolina and Fort Lauderdale tied at 1. The boys in blue looking for their first win of 2021. They fought through the early slumps of defending well against the Fort Lauderdale side, and now it seems like they're growing into the game. Getting that equalizer and now having a good spell of the ball here in this second half. Flores trying to go over the top to Simpson. Flag is up offside.
Offside there. I don't mind that, though. I think, you know, as much as NCFC wants to play and build and have possession, I think they've had the most success when they've been a little bit more direct and looked for longer balls in behind, specifically to Thorne Simpson, whether it's, you know, him checking back and then finding him as a target or him running in behind. I think, you know, most of their more dangerous chances have come from those type of balls.
And now you see Selmir Mishcic intervening defensively, conceding the throw to Fort Lauderdale. As we mentioned, the MLS affiliate of Inter Miami. And the famous Manchester United and England legend David Beckham, one of the owners of Inter Miami, and he hired his good teammate and best friend Phil Neville to head coach the MLS side, and his son Harvey is now playing at left back for Fort Lauderdale. JT Kamara finding Mishcic on a great run. Mishcic! And again, Zamudio comes up, but he doesn't pick up the ball. Mishcic! And it's headed by Rosales. Arriaga! Oh my goodness! A simple error by Zamudio almost gives NCFC the lead. And Rosales coming up big on an initial block.
Yeah, again, it's a more direct ball in behind. Nicely weighted for Selmir Mishcic. He gets a touch on it. Zamudio, a mistake there, and he's caught in no man's land. Fortunately, has Brian Rosales to cover him. And Arriaga, a nice hit on a difficult ball there, but doesn't put it on frame. And a wild sequence for NCFC.
It's a corner kick for North Carolina as Selmir Mishcic sends it in. Free header! And it was tipped by Zamudio. Oh my goodness, what a debut goal that would have been for Martina there.
Martina unmarked, and Zamudio immediately making up for the mistake he just made with a highlight reel save. We'll see here, great service from Mishcic. Martina unmarked, and Zamudio get the cameras out. Great save from him.
Another good ball from Mishcic. Simpson, a weak header, and Zamudio claims it. And with the way the game is tilted towards North Carolina, will Fort Lauderdale try to show their aggressive direct football yet again and try to take the lead? Because North Carolina, they're gaining in confidence now. Header by Penn. And Mbai again shakes off Sean Hundel. And now Mbai on the ball for North Carolina. We mentioned he had a solid career at Clemson, played 4 years, named ACC Defensive Player of the Year in 2019. Martina switching the point of attack to Arriaga. He's got Kamara in support. JT Kamara against two defenders. Slips it to Pekka. It was blocked. And Zamudio was planted. And it was almost a second goal for North Carolina FC.
And that's the third or fourth time that Martinez played that crossfield ball. It's really opened up Fort Lauderdale. You see Pekka here with the shot from outside the box that deflects. And as you said, Zamudio would not been able to do anything about that one had it been on goal. But I think that ball from Martina and his ability to play that has really changed the game for NCFC.
Corner kick dealt with by Christian Liu Young of Fort Lauderdale, and now here's George Acosta. Trying to spring the counterattack, but Mbai just gets rid of it, boots it long, and it's into the path of Thorne Simpson, who's onside. Thorne Simpson! And Zamudio and Fort Lauderdale breathe a sigh of relief.
I think it's Rosales again there, who's the hero, keeping the ball out of the goal.
My goodness. Fort Lauderdale playing on the edge of a knife, knowing they could be moments away from, they were 1-0 up, they could be 2-1 down. It looks like they're making a second change here as Edison Ascona is gonna come in. Advantage played after the collision. Curry slips it to Hundal, and it goes past everybody. Venton Evans collects it for Fort Lauderdale. As an NCFC player, it's down, it's Nelson Flores. And now he's going to get the call to try to play it out. Actually, referee William Steffen has stopped play as Nelson Flores has not gotten up. This could be a dangerous situation for the boys in blue. One fullback was subbed off, and now their other fullback is dealing with an injury here. As you get a look at Thorne Simpson, had a great chance to give North Carolina the lead.
Yeah, he did well to keep this one alive and gets the left foot on it. Brian Rosales, I don't know if that would technically be a pass back, but nonetheless, he's there to clean things up for Zamudio.
Second change for Fort Lauderdale has been made. It is going to be Edison Ascona, 17-year-old out of the Dominican Republic, coming in for Sean Hundal. As Nelson Flores is getting some treatment and is now up on his feet. He was in a big collision that allowed the advantage to be played, and here you get a look at that last Fort Lauderdale attack.
Yeah, you can see the collision here. Flores just loses his footing. It looks like he sort of takes a knee to the midsection there. And another dangerous ball across the box for Hundal, who just can't get anything on it. This game is wide open, Brian.
Yes, it has been. And Nelson Flores giving the thumbs up, saying he's okay. It looks like Edison Ascona, the 17-year-old, will take the place of Hundal. Ascona was part of the Orlando City and Inter Miami academies. Started every game for Fort Lauderdale in 2020. And his efforts named him to the second team All-League in USL League One's first season. Pearson, again, direct ball towards Thorne Simpson, headed by Hardin. Kamara tried to win that second ball back and is putting pressure on Poplovsky. And Fort Lauderdale evades that initial danger. Pekka, flick. Arriaga, who's had a couple good chances to give North Carolina the lead. And now Martina over to Flores, who's back on the field for North Carolina FC. Nelson Flores. Back to Pekka, under pressure by Ascona. And now the fullback against Penn. Shaking him off and passing it back to an open Martina. And it looks like Fort Lauderdale's defensive shape has changed a little bit as Arriaga crosses that ball. Pekka in open space in the box. Pekka shot at the post and Zamudio claims it. Looks like they're now playing a 4-4-1-1 with Ascona chasing and Mitchell Curry staying there as the number 9 if the counterattack is sprung.
Yeah, an interesting shift in shape, I think, as we see Ascona picks up the ball here.
Solid defensive work by Martina.
Yeah, last 30 minutes of the game, you're on the road. It makes sense that you try to get a little bit more discipline and lock things down a little bit.
Here's Rosales, who's been the defensive hero not once, but twice in this second half for Fort Lauderdale. Now Harvey Neville, George Acosta. Ascona back to Hardin. Both teams having their substitutes warm up. Obviously, with 25 minutes and stoppage time to play, there's a lot to gain here. A chance for 3 points, and for North Carolina FC, it would be their first win of the campaign if they're able to pull this off.
Yeah, it's a win that they want. It's a win that they need. And they look poised to do it here so far in the second half. It's just a matter of finding that finishing touch. Had some very dangerous chances.
Lou Young trying to link up with Ascona. And he's going to be flagged for the foul on Martina.
It's well done from Martina, and he's a guy that I've been very impressed with since he came onto the field, and would not be surprised to see him become a mainstay at center back here for this North Carolina FC team as they continue on this season.
Yeah, he made his international debut for his native country of Curacao in 2018. As we said earlier, when he came on, he started his young career in the second division of Dutch football in the Netherlands. As referee William Steffen is telling Damian Loss how much further back he has to go because the foul was right by the corner flag. And now play will resume. 66th minute. North Carolina 1, Fort Lauderdale 1.
The game's calmed down a little bit after a wild 10 or 15 minutes there.
Flags up offside on Simpson, coming from an offside position to receive the ball. The USL is committed to supporting the LGBTQ+ community through the Forever Proud project. The USL will strive to create safe and welcoming environments for all fans, players, employees, and partners. Learn more at uslsoccer.com/forwardforever-proud. And multiple teams across USL League One will have Pride Night for their home games. For North Carolina, it will be their next home game against Richmond at the end of June, as Neville was looking for Curry.
Yeah, it's great to see so many clubs and the league as a whole really embrace Pride Month, and not only Pride Month, but the Unite Against Racism campaign as well. Just being vocal on these social issues that affect so many.
And it's not just the USL, but the MLS as well, and as well as the NWSL. And the NWSL has really been a huge component for that, especially with the North Carolina Courage under the ownership of Steve Malik. The Courage, even though they lost earlier today against the Chicago Red Stars, 1-0, they'll be back here at home against a very game OL Reign. That Megan Rapinoe is a star on that team, and I believe it's going to be on national television. So it's a great chance for, since now we're in the month of June and under the Governor Cooper's orders, we could have a full house here at Salem Stadium, up to almost 10,000 people watching that game.
I'm sure it'll be packed, as the Courage are a big draw. Such an exciting team, especially with Sam Mewis back in the mix, and that OL Reign team, as you said, has Megan Rapinoe. I believe Rose Lavelle is a part of that team now as well. Should be a great game.
2 stars of the U.S. women's national team, and Fort Lauderdale now have a very advantageous free kick here just at the edge of the box as Pekka brings down Josh Penn in a very poor spot.
Yeah, dangerous area, and you could see George Acosta ran over and grabbed the ball very, very quickly. I think he's salivating at this one. Prime position.
Yeah, this looks like he's probably from about 20 yards out. You also have Josh Penn, who's been bringing those left-footed balls in on corner kicks. He's also on the ball, and
yeah, I'm sure he's trying to talk George Acosta out of this one, but I'm not sure he'll be successful.
Looks like it's a 4-man wall for North Carolina FC.
It's a big wall too.
What will Fort Lauderdale do on this free kick here in the 70th minute? It's George Acosta. And that was not off by much, just needed to dip a little more.
Yeah, grazed the top of the net there. As you said, not far off. We get another look at it here. Steps up, good pace on it, but it doesn't come down as much as it needs to.
We mentioned in the open how George Acosta was a former academy player here at NCFC. He's had an incredible young career, part of the US U17 national team that competed in the World Cup in 2017. And that was a very highly entertaining US 17 World Cup, because not only about America, we'll get to that in a moment as Kamara finds Mishicic at the edge of the box, dealt with by Liu Young. And now NCFC is back on the ball, but Pearson took a slip there. But there were so many incredible stars, and especially with England winning that World Cup. Some of the stars that are huge players: Phil Foden, Jadon Sancho, Ryan Brewster, as well as some good Americans that George Acosta was teammates with Tim Weah, who just won a Ligue 1 title with Lille, as well as Josh Sargent. We'll see where he wants to go after Werder Bremen, unfortunately, were relegated in the Bundesliga.
Yeah, a lot of talent in that England team. You're talking about
it's going to be a force with the Euros starting next week.
Yeah, and some of those guys I think have since become, really top-level players in the world.
Yeah, especially Foden and Sancho.
Yeah, the progress that Phil Foden has made this year at Manchester City under Pep Guardiola has been pretty incredible.
And there's a lot of talk of whether Jadon Sancho will come back will leave Dortmund. Possibly, Manchester United really wanted him last year. They're probably going to go after him this summer. It's going to be very interesting to see what the big clubs, especially after the demise of the Super League, will try to do in terms of summer transfers. As Fort Lauderdale on a direct run, Acosta finding Venton Evans at the edge of the box. Lays it off to Harvey Neville. Now Acosta. Poplowski. Moving it from side to side is Fort Lauderdale. Liu Young over to Ascona. The Dominican shaking off Pekka. And now Liu Young, who had the assist on the first goal. A good cross in. Headed by Flick. And Simpson just gets it out of harm's way, but Fort Lauderdale now building some confidence here in these last few minutes.
Yeah, good spell of possession here for Fort Lauderdale. Some good creativity from Ascona since he's come on, and there's another dangerous ball.
And Penn was just a fraction offside, trying to slip between Martinez and Flores. Josh Penn, as we said, played at Indiana. Was named as one of the best freshmen in the country several years ago. We had 6 goals, 2 assists for the Hoosiers. And in 2021, he was drafted 10th in the MLS Super Draft by Inter Miami.
Yeah, got some good experience at Indy 11. And I'm sure he's happy to be back in the Inter Miami setup with Fort Lauderdale, just to maintain that connection to the first team. And as we talked about before, if you do put in those good performances, you're going to be rewarded. It might be a little bit more difficult for a team like Inter Miami, who's spent a lot of money on some foreign signings and just have a lot of talent. Maybe a little bit more difficult to break into that first team, but still great for growth and development.
JT Kamara trying to slip Thorne Simpson in. Thorne Simpson! And again, it's stopped by Zamudio.
Excellent ball there from JT Kamara in behind. Perfectly weighted for Thorne Simpson, who, again, is dangerous running in behind. He's gotten into these types of positions a few times, but the finish isn't there. Zamudio parries that one away, and he doesn't have to do too much, to be honest. I don't think Thorne Simpson made him work enough there.
Yeah, he went for power, especially with Hardin on his heels. And now Selmir Mishcic will deliver the corner kick as the big men for NCFC try to run into the box. Not the best corner kick as Ascona picks up the pieces, trying to spring Acosta. Heavy challenge by Mbai, and it looks like we may see the first yellow card here, and it could be more. Referee William Steffen pulls out a yellow card, but Darren Powell and the Fort Lauderdale side pleading that might have been possibly a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. I don't think it was, because some of the NCFC players were tracking back, but that was definitely a dangerous challenge.
Yeah,
a tactical challenge.
I think it's too far from the goal to be a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, but at the same time, it was incredibly late. It's a really, really dangerous challenge. And
now some pushing and shoving between Pekka and some of the Fort Lauderdale players. Again, you get the look of the challenge from Mbai.
And honestly, I think if we had seen red there, I'm not sure I could have argued too much with it. Just the way that he came in with his studs up late.
So referee William Steffen trying to calm things down. He's in communication with the assistant referee, with the fourth official. We'll try to get the cards all sorted out. And he's talking with Malik Mbai, and it is a red.
That's interesting.
He initially pulled out a yellow, but I believe in conversation with the assistant referee and the fourth official, a red card has been shown to Malik Mbai. And he's been sent off here in the 77th minute. And now North Carolina FC is down to 10 men. Again, a very late challenge. And again, that question I had, is it denial of a goal-scoring opportunity there that could have added to it?
I think maybe it adds to it a little bit, but again, I think at the halfway line, it's a different conversation. I think just the nature of the tackle is probably what gets him the red there. And it is, I don't love that they go back and change it. I think if you're a referee, your instinct is a yellow. You've got to stick with it. And I'm not sure if he got input from his fourth official or the linesman. I don't know what led to the change.
So Mbai is being sent off. Also, a yellow card has been issued to Pekka after a little bit of pushing and shoving after the initial call was made. Obviously, players getting very emotional. And now head coach John Bradford's going to have to make some tactical changes, being a man down as George Acosta is up on his feet here. Looks like, I believe that's Colin McCamey that may be coming in.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a substitution that was planned before the red card took place, and they might change their mind here. So Colin McCamey he's a striker, so you would imagine as you go down a man, it might not make the most sense to bring on a striker.
Now George Acosta is coming back on the field here after the harsh tackle by Malik Mbai that has sent him off. And now North Carolina playing with 10 men as play is restarted here in the 79th minute. North Carolina 1, Fort Lauderdale 1. The home side down to 10 men.
Yeah, it's just really, as you're looking for your first win, you're at home, you like the way that you're playing in the second half, and to go down a man just really sort of takes the wind out of your sails. Now you're fighting to keep a point, right? I think that's kind of the situation.
Ball towards Acosta, just past his touch, and looks like North Carolina FC is going to play with 5 at the back. His 3 center backs with Martinez. Flick has now moved back into a center back role, as well as Peter Pearson. Especially defensively. Simpson can't control it. Acosta finding Josh Penn. Penn getting by Flores. Here's Curry. Again, the header by Flick, able to deal with the danger. Just getting really low and stopping that cross from coming in.
Flick he's been Johnny on the spot a few times here tonight.
Poplowski. Rosales. Hardin. Now Neville. Into the feet of Josh Penn. His chance. Stopped by Damian Loss. And that was an important save because with the defenders at the 18-yard line at the edge of the box, if he spills it, that could have been a dangerous chance. You saw the Fort Lauderdale players charging in.
Yeah. Well done to hold on to it, not give up any rebounds, as you mentioned.
Looks like North Carolina's going to make 2 changes. McCamey and Josh Cohen are going to come on for the home team. Rosales. Over to Hardin. Neville. He's looking towards Evans' way. Now Acosta. Shipping it towards Evans. Flag up offside on the Jamaican. USL on ESPN. The Eastern Conference takes center stage when the USL continues on ESPN Deportes Tuesday, June 15th. It's a clash of Midwestern powers as Indy 11 look to continue their hot start, welcoming perennial playoff contenders Pittsburgh Riverhounds SC to the mic. Catch the pair of Beasts of the East on Tuesday night with kickoff scheduled for 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Here's Pekka. Now Miščić. There's Flores on the overlap. He's looking to link up with Simpson right at the edge of the 6-yard box. Chip is too strong. Now Acosta. Ascona. As Curry in support. Flag didn't go up. Sliding challenge by Loss, but he's out of position. Great block by Pearson. Neville had eyes for goal there with Loss way off his line.
It did. It looked like it was going on goal as well. And Peter Pearson, along with Flick, has had some really important blocks, interceptions. Those 2 guys sort of quietly men of the match for me, I think, to this point.
Fort Lauderdale making their 3rd change as Abel Caputo comes on for Venton Evans here in the 83rd minute. So Josh Cohen coming in for JT Kamara, as you see over at the bench area, and now Colin McCamey, number 30 in blue, is going to come on for Selmir Miščić, the goal scorer for North Carolina FC. He has scored all the goals for the boys in blue, and the goal that he scored was a thing of beauty in terms of his link up with JT Kamara. Their chemistry has been very impressive.
Yeah, it was a fun one to watch. Miščić, again, the beneficiary of some really good play from JT Kamara and Thorne Simpson. as we see Colin McAmey here come in along with Josh Cohen. And a tough situation to come into as a substitute, being down a man. Really your job for the last 10 minutes is just to run, work, defend. If you can go steal one, great, but I think the priority is to keep the point that you have.
So we're in the 84th minute here. North Carolina 1, Fort Lauderdale 1. Home side down to 10 men after the red card to Malik Mbai. Taking down George Acosta at midfield. And Fort Lauderdale looking for a winner here and possibly to steal all 3 points if they play their cards right against the 10-man North Carolina side. Rosales. Here's the first touch for Caputo. Acosta trying to chip it to Curry, dealt with by Martina, out by Pekka. Hardin reclaims it though for Fort Lauderdale in front of Simpson. Acosta yet again, out wide to Liu Young. Christian Liu Young gets by McCamey, cross into the box, goes past Ascona. Neville recovers it. And now Edison Ascona, the 17-year-old, finds Acosta. And North Carolina will take that, try to take a couple extra seconds, but they leave Acosta in that position. I think they'll take his chances from about 30 yards out.
Definitely, I think you'll settle for shots from that distance at this point. Just as an aside, I think it's great to see Colin McAmey come into this game in this situation. He's an academy player, very young, and I think when North Carolina FC made the decision to come to USL League One, the idea was to get academy players like him experience in professional games and more specifically in situations like this, high pressure situations, down a man.
And you also got to be proud of his story because, with it coming through the academy, it gives John Bradford the opportunity to tell, colleges about, his players, and he's committed to West Point. He's going to play for Army and go to West Point and possibly serve our country later on.
Yeah, it's great to see. Great to see the trust that they've put in him and putting him in this type of a situation.
Here's Penn with the cross, dealt with by Flick to the feet of Poplovsky. Arriaga dealt with it, but it's only as far as Rosales. Cuban defender saving Fort Lauderdale's tail a couple of times earlier in the second half. Acosta trying to link up with Penn, dealt with by Flick. Acosta always in pockets of space, either on the left or the right side of the box. Trying to either chip it to the strikers or push the ball out wide as Ascona in a good position against Cohen. And it's out by Arriaga. Question is, what will those tired legs of it, how much energy are in those tired legs of NCFC late in this stage of the game?
I was just thinking, this is weather that they have not experienced yet so far this season. We were in the 40s last weekend.
It felt like it with the wind that came in as Ascona. His opportunity is dealt with by Loss, but yeah, the rain and the front that moved through, it dropped the temperatures 20 degrees. It felt like, it didn't feel like May, it felt like October.
Yep. This is a different beast. The humidity is here, temperature's up.
This is comfortable for Fort Lauderdale because being down in Miami, it's 80s, 90s at all phases of the year.
Absolutely.
Here's Neville. Ascona. Edison Ascona's cross dealt with by Max Flick. And he clears it long. The only option they really have. So there's not the biggest chance to try to spring the counterattack from that deep a position. We're in the 89th minute here at Salem Stadium. Still tied at 1. Hardin. Neville, cross in, dealt with by Martina, falls to Acosta, and it's blocked by Pekka. And you see the amount of defensive work that NCFC has to do, as I believe Martina is cramping up.
Not a big surprise there, I don't think, as he's just sort of working his way up to full match fitness and relatively new to the team. He has put in a lot of work tonight since coming on the field. Been a good leader for them at the back.
And as you mentioned, his impact really helped change how North Carolina played offensively with his diagonal balls, whether it was to the right or to the left, that allowed the wingers to try to spring things for the offense.
Yeah, not something that we saw, I think, prior to his entry into the game, was that type of long diagonal ball that can unlock an opposing team.
North Carolina has a couple of subs. With John Bradford, you have Yekison Suba, number 33, as well as number 23, Curtis De Leon.
Again, two academy players being put into a high-pressure situation.
Especially late in this game, where the objective now is to preserve the point that they have, as we are in the 90th minute. Obviously, there's the initial idea of how much stoppage time there was going to be, but now it's going to be even longer. It is 6 minutes, minimum 6 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of the second half. And now Martina is up on his feet, and you see how he can't really put any weight on that right leg as he is walking off.
Yeah, you hope that's just a cramp, right? You'd hate to see him come away from this game with an injury after just being introduced into the lineup.
Now it looks like the referee wants Martina to make his way further down the field so he's not part of the action or interferes with the action. He is off the pitch, and John Bradford asking why no subs were brought in. They said they were ready. But referee William Steffen keeping play going. So they're playing with 9 men, and it's a 2-1 lead for Fort Lauderdale. Edison Ascona, the sub, gives the visitors the lead.
We'll see here, excellent service in. Curling ball to that back post and into that middle of the defense where Martina would have been had he been on the field. And you can see the NCFC coaches are absolutely livid that they were not able to make these two substitutions during that stoppage. I don't know why they weren't able to make those two substitutions during that stoppage. But credit to Fort Lauderdale for taking advantage of the lack of a presence in the central defense for NCFC, and Edison Ascona, the substitutes, who's had a really positive impact since coming on. Right place, right time, solid header.
Coming in, number 23, Curtis De Leon.
So the changes have been made for North Carolina as Yekison Suba and Curtis De Leon have come onto the field for North Carolina, and now they have to get an equalizer here late on. Pearson is looking to Cohen, headed by Neville. Now Suba, free kick. Ethan Hardin, the Fort Lauderdale captain, hands on the shoulders. Obviously Suba kind of forced the issue, and now a set piece for North Carolina here in the 3rd minute of stoppage time.
Well done from Suba just to get in the mix and be physical, try to make something happen here.
And now you have Josh Cohen ready to send the ball in. Here's the ball into the box. Zamudio claims it. was targeted towards Suba.
That's a wasted opportunity there with that service.
Fort Lauderdale almost flirted with danger there on that pass from Hardin. And Caputo gets himself into trouble as Pekka finds Flores. Trying to link up with Suba. Picked off by Neville. And Nelson Flores still showing fight here as North Carolina is, again, actively searching for that equalizer after the goal in the 92nd minute by Edison Ascona. Pearson. All dealt with by Hardin as Suba started his run a little early, and Flick will just get it out of play and prevent the counterattack. Mitchell Curry, the goal scorer in the first half for Fort Lauderdale. Second consecutive game he's scored. And Fort Lauderdale will take their time. William Steffen is pressing the issue, saying not too long, otherwise we're going to card you for time wasting. As we are in the 95th minute. Again, a minimum of 6 minutes.
Certainly not going to be in a rush to do anything here, Fort Lauderdale.
Ball out by De Leon. Pavlovsky over to Liu Young. Now Penn. Fort Lauderdale just playing keep away here, as they came into this game winning 1 of their last 5 matches. And they are moments away from coming here to Cary, first time ever, and taking all 3 points.
It's been a solid performance from Fort Lauderdale. I think, you know, they probably deserve the win. I think NCFC will feel hard done by, both with the red card and the situation, which led to the winning goal in terms of the substitutions not being able to come on. But Fort Lauderdale has played well. They've had some very, very positive stretches.
And they fought through what happened early on in the second half when North Carolina was so close to getting that second goal multiple times.
Yes, I think NCFC will look back at this game and rue some of those missed chances.
We've had the 6 minutes, so now we're into the extra time of extra time. As Mitchell Curry is on the ball, the flag is up for offside. Darren Powell screaming instructions to his men to get back as Loss sends it long. Suba trying to win the header. Stays on it for North Carolina FC. Arriaga, Cohen, Flores. Taken down by Hardin, free kick. Hardin trying to claim innocence. That Flores may have taken a dive on that challenge, but William Steffen, the referee, is having none of it. And again, a similar position that Fort Lauderdale had earlier in the half. They have an excellent opportunity here to get one late.
We see Nelson Flores pick this one up. He drives at the back line. And Hardin lunges in. I don't know how much contact he made, but I think anytime you go to ground in that sort of area, you run the risk of giving up a free kick. No attacker is going to stay on their feet in that type of situation.
3-man wall for Fort Lauderdale. Josh Cohen ready to send it in. Obviously a lot of movement at the other far post. It's sent in, and it's headed out initially by a Fort Lauderdale player. Out by Ascona as we're in the 9th minute of extra time here in this second half. Loss sends the ball in. Suba trying to create space. But full time has been blown here in Cary, North Carolina. And Fort Lauderdale for the first time in their first trip here to North Carolina, come out with 3 points. 3 precious points. And unfortunately, Austin, North Carolina, again, just couldn't get it done. They finish, again, with another tough loss.
Yep, still looking for that first win. And again, I think we talked about it before the game. Positive stretches, good chances created, but just not enough consistency start to finish. Fort Lauderdale comes away with 3 points.
Mitchell Curry getting Fort Lauderdale started. Selmir Micic equalized, but Edison Ascona in stoppage time getting the winner. And 3 precious points for our entire crew and for Austin Duluth. I'm Brian Ware saying thanks again for watching this presentation of USL League One on ESPN+. North Carolina FC will be back home on June 26th to take on the Richmond Kickers. Go to ncfc.com, northcarolinafc.com rather, to look at tickets. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.
At Strategic Systems, we understand that a reliable IT infrastructure doesn't just materialize by itself. We've been helping Triangle businesses of all sizes build and manage secure, reliable technology solutions for over 25 years. Strategic Systems and CEI. Are you transforming your business?
So, how do you like your urgent care? At Wake Med, we have urgent care just about everywhere. Urgent care that specializes in orthopedics and kids. MyCare 365, open every day of the year. Even virtual urgent care. Yup, urgent care in your jammies, on your tablet. So download the Wake Med All Access app and get urgent care that's caring, convenient, and just the way you like it.
Continental Tire has been a proud supporter of soccer for more than a decade. We've been there both on and off the field for some of the greatest celebrations. We've watched with you as the game and personalities have gotten bigger. We are proud to continue standing alongside you, supporting the game that gives us all so much. Together, we've shared thousands of incredible goals and celebrations. Here's to many more to come.